Katrina's Creations. This is episode 176. We've had a lot of new viewers over the last 2 weeks, so thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, please click the little red subscribe button, and if you click the little icon next to it that looks like a bell, that will let you know anytime I post a video, which is Saturdays and most Wednesdays. There might be an extra one this week. So, yeah. I've gotten a lot done. I've been home from work for a week because my work shut down for, well, everybody knows why. So, yeah, let's get started. I've got lots of finished objects and sort of finished objects. I'm waiting for one. I'll explain when I get there. Okay, you remember from the Dollar Tree, I got all of the tulle, yeah, that stuff, to make little scrubbies with. So I did a little experimenting. I had 4 rolls. They were 6 inches wide and 15 feet long. I cut them lengthwise, and my hope was I was going to get a scrubby out of each one, which would have meant I would have gotten about 8 scrubbies. It didn't work out that way. I have 5 scrubbies, 2 of which are kind of small. So let me show you what I've got. First, I experimented with knitting it. As you can see, this is not scratchy like the mesh was that I used before that, which is the wider type of like netting. This is very fine netting because it's like white for bridal stuff, so it's a lot smoother. I mean, you could put it on your face and it's not going to hurt. So I have one of these, and I realized I used 2 whole lengths, so 1 whole roll for this. So then I thought I didn't have much to show for it, so I decided after that to work on crocheting them. So I got 3 crochet ones. Now what I'm going to use these for, these 3, I'm going to use like in my bathroom for scrubbing my Formica tub. I can't speak for everybody, but for my Formica tub, this doesn't scratch. The scratchier stuff that I was using before does, but this doesn't. So like, you know, bathtub ring, things like that. So I have 3 of those, and then I had a little bit left, so I made an itty bitty baby one. These 2 I think I'm going to use for like exfoliators, like for my face, which is extremely broke out right now. I don't know why. You'd think that would have ended when I was a teenager, which was 40 years ago when I was 17, so I'm 57 to save you doing the math. But anyway, yes, so these 2 I'm going to use as facial scrubbies, and these I'm going to scrub my bathtub with. So that's finished objects number 1. Then I finished crocheting my socks. Now I did start running out of this yarn that is here. This is like my 3rd pair of socks. I had 2 skeins of this. So I had some white and some gray, and so I striped it with the white and the gray, and then I kind of mixed this in with it. So that's why you can see some red stripes and some green in here. So I just kind of did striping all the way down. Here's the funny part, and you experienced crocheters are going to just laugh yourself silly on this. I put it on, let me hold it this way. Here's where my decreases are. Okay, now this is looking down at the top of my foot. I've got these bulges on each side, right where the decreases are, which should have been getting smaller. You can really see it here. See this little bulge thing here? It looks like my socks have saddlebags. Yeah, and you can see it on this side. See it? This little bloop. It matches my hips. What can I say? But I think I was excited because at least I figured out what I did. And I did the same thing on both. At least they're even. Because here is the toe of this one and the heel. And you can see it kind of bulges out too, right over here. They don't look horrible when they're on. Yes, I could have ripped them out. Did I? Obviously not. They're just going to go on my feet. I wear them around the house like slippers, so I really am not that worried about it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I said, my socks have saddlebags. But I figured out, and I was excited because I actually figured out what I did. These were not like spiral crochet where you just keep going around and around. These you went around and then you did a slip stitch and then you chained, like chained one to go up to the next row and went around. I think when I did the slip stitch, when I came back around, I actually crocheted that. So even though I was decreasing, I was increasing, and it caused a funny little bulge. So if you have tips for how to mark where, that's where I struggle the most actually with crochet, is determining where the beginning and end of a row is. And I've tried I actually had a little stitch marker in there and I was moving it up as I went, but I didn't figure in the slip stitch. So yeah, if you have any tips for me, I would really appreciate it. Please stick them downstairs, put them downstairs in the comment place. Yeah, leave me a tip down there if you've got one, because apparently that's where my struggling point is. Now I also have a knitted finished project. I finished my grandson's baby blanket. It's actually a little more square than it is rectangle, because I think the last time I made this one has 4 repeats going across it. I think I only had 3. So I think I actually made this wider than the original was. So it's a little bit more square. I didn't use all of the yarn up. I actually have this much left. But I think this probably only would have given me maybe 10 rows more. And I didn't want to cut it too close and have to go out and buy a whole other skeiny yarn. So I just stopped it where the pattern stopped. And I think he'll be perfectly fine with it. It's a square shape. This is only the finest, only the finest for Amelia. I've been calling it only the best, but it's only the finest for Amelia. And I was holding it upside down. So here it is. Let me hold it a little closer so you can see the pattern. And it's actually, it looks very detailed. It's actually a very, very simple pattern. It is a 4-row repeat. There's no cable stitch involved or anything. If you hear some flapping noise, we have some wind outside, and I think our siding, which was just fixed, is flapping again. I can hear it. So if you hear squeaking in the background, it's not my brain. It's not the cogs in my brain squeaking. It is outside where it's kind of windy. We got a storm coming in. So anyway, there it is. Then, if you remember, you're going, there's more. Oh yes, because I've been self-isolating with my crafts this week. And I have at least one more week to go. So, if you remember last week, I showed a whole bunch of material that I got from work from Joann's. They were like sample upholstery pieces that had to be literally cut off of the hangers because they were riveted on. So they made these little odd-shaped rectangles that were maybe 9 to 10 inches wide and maybe 13, 14 inches deep. So what did I do with them? I made a whole bunch of project bags. And because there wasn't enough to do an entire thing of like one whole project bag with it, I made reversible project bags. So this one's my favorite. They are not for sale in the Etsy shop yet. They will be, but I don't have any ribbon, and I'm not braving the masses at Walmart with a gas mask on to try to go over and get the ribbon. So I figure I will just get these done and set them aside, and then when I can safely go to Walmart and not worry, ribbon is just not that important to go into Walmart right now. So that is the first one, and it's got these little beads where the triangles meet, or where the squares meet. Now, the inside, like I said, it's reversible. So this is what the inside looks like. It's a cream color, and then it has this paisley print that also has the rust colors. I tried to stick with colors that kind of went together. So this is project bag number 1. I have 6 of them. Here is number 2. And number 2's insides are a pale green and this print in here. That's number 2. Number 3 is a turquoise, and it's a satiny type of print up top. And then the inside is a pale green and a chevron pattern that has some of the greens that this has in it. Then there's this one. And the inside of it is a pale green and I liked this one, the checkerboard. And like I said, they are reversible, so you can change them around or whichever side you like better. Then I have a brown one, and the inside of it is, let's see if I can get this open a little bit more, is a tan plaid, and like the same color here, it's like a linen type of fabric. And then the last one is a light tan, and it's kind of a chevron pattern down below, and then the inside is this stripe, and again a darker kind of burlap. So that is my finished objects. I'm counting these as finished objects because the only thing I have to do is thread the ribbon through, and who knows how long that might be. So what am I working on for my works in progress? Well, I have tons of works in progress not going on. I've been really good. I've got two. I've got a knitted one and a crocheted one. I could have much, much more because I keep seeing things that you guys are making in the show and tell segment and going, ooh, ooh. And then I look through patterns and I see other things I like. But right now I've been limiting myself to two things. So the first thing is my crochet. I picked up a project that I was working on a while back and set it aside, and I haven't brought it back out for a while. And that is my scrappy blanket that, here it is. Let's see. Here's where I was when I left off. You can see this little stitch marker right here. Right there. That was by Kathy Tinkler. So I've got that on there. And so I have been working on my scrappy stripe. It's not really a granny stripe blanket because I'm using the shell stitch. I just didn't like the granny stripe. So I'm doing a shell stitch with it. And I've just tied a bunch of leftover yarn here. And my other project is my Advent shawl, and so any leftovers that I have from that I'm putting into here too. Now to do this I am using I think it's a 3.5, yes, 3.5 millimeter hook, and I didn't show you how wide or how long this is. It is about maybe 3.5 feet wide, and it is a little over 2 feet in length so far. And I have like one or two more of these balls made up, and like I said, I'm adding to them as I go from leftovers from my Advent calendar. So the other project I have going on, I finally am working on my Advent shawl that I was making from the yarn Advent calendar that I exchanged with Karen Lyon, who is SSK Yarners. So I'm designing the pattern as I go, and this is where I'm in color number 2 so far. And these were colors Kim and I put together at a coffee knit night and tried to figure out which ones would look good together. So here's the beginning, and these are sparklies. I don't know if it shows up or not, but this is sparkly. It's got little gold flecks of stellina in it. And so there's the first part of the pattern. And then here is the second part, and I'm doing, to transfer from one color to the next, I'm doing some slip stitches, which makes like a mosaic pattern. You can see it a little bit better on the back. These are slip stitches right here. So, yeah, so that's it so far. It's being knit from the top down, so this is the top center. And yeah, so I'm real happy with that so far. And that is my works in progress. Now, it's coming up for time for show and tell, but I had to tell you something funny about one of the items. I didn't put it in show and tell because I'm going to show it separately because it was just hysterical. A lot of you have been seeing or posting the picture with all of the stuff that's going on about the roll of crocheted toilet paper. Kayla Miller took it one step further. She crocheted a scarf and crocheted the toilet roll included and was wearing it. Yeah, I thought it was adorable. I said, don't go to a grocery store. People will mob you for your toilet paper that's wrapped around your neck. So anyway, yes, if you check out, well, I'll stick a picture in here so you can see what it looks like. So I thought it was hysterical. But anyway, yeah, so Kayla's wearing a toilet paper scarf at this point. And then before I show you the show and tell, Pam Phillips, I think, has been crocheting in her sleep. Her one child is expecting twins, and I think there's another one due too, so she's having, like, her family's exploding with children at this point. But anyway, she's trying to get all these projects done for all of these little people that are coming in, little blessings. So anyway, you'll see a lot of her projects there that she's kind of busy, and yeah, you'll see it. So anyway, here's show and tell. Now it's time for acquisitions. I did a little shopping. If you saw things just fell off the bed. I have so much stuff stacked on my bed right now. Anyway, yeah, let's get started with the acquisitions. If you've seen the amount of sales that have gone through, I feel like I've been posting videos every single day because there's just been one sale after another after another. So, especially Lion Brand has had some very tempting ones out there, and so did Bluprint. So, yes, indeed, I did a little shopping. So, let's get started with my regular ordered thing. My knit crate came in, and I ordered I think this was the Energize Me colorway, and here it is. It's called Dogwood Berry. It's got a little bit of berry undertones, a little cranberry-ish. It depends on the light you look in it. To me, it looks a little more rust colored. If you put it up against this bag, it looks like they were kind of meant to go together. But it has a slight berry color depending on the light, like I said. But it's so soft. It is their Labrebus. I finally pronounced it right. Labrebus yarn. It's a light alpaca. It's 100% baby alpaca. There's 400 yards in each 100 gram. So there's 800 yards of scrumptious soft yarn here. Now the patterns that they have with it, they also sent, I didn't bring them up to show you because everybody has seen the little safety pin looking progress keeper stitch marker thingies. There was those, and there was point protectors in there for knitting needles. So, yeah, let me show you the patterns and which one. Kim and I were talking, and we both think we are going to make the little like shawl or capelet that's in there. So let me show you. These are the knit patterns. There is a hat and a cowl right here. And then there's a pair of socks. And then over on the crochet one, there's a pair of slipper socks, which I probably will not be making because I don't want saddlebags in them, and there's no way I would make any socks for my feet out of 100% alpaca. That belongs around your face where it's nice and soft. But this is the pattern that she and I both liked. So, and it is a crocheted, like a shawlette. They're calling it a capelet. So, yeah, which means it doesn't fasten. It just literally slips over your head, sort of like a poncho, but doesn't go all the way down. So that's the one I'm going to make. And here's another close-up picture of it, so you can see it a little bit more. Now, next month's is called Luminous. Now, I'm not going to tell you ahead of time what I ordered, but if you know what my favorite color is, you'll figure it out. So anyway, yeah, that was Knit Crate this month. If you are interested in trying out Knit Crate, you can do so for only $5. It's normally $24.99, and that includes your shipping. It comes out once a month, and you do get a choice of what color you would like. They come out with 3 colors per month, and you can pick which one you would like to go for. And like I said, normally it's $24.99, but they have a special deal running, I don't know for how long, where you can use the link down below. It's a referral program. If you click through that link, you can try it for $5. If you don't like it, you can cancel after the first month right online. They don't hassle you or anything like that. I just would warn you that you do need to put your credit card information in for that $5. And make sure if you don't want to continue it, you get it canceled before the first of the month, because that's when they automatically bill you. So, yeah, that's the only word of warning I would do with it is, you know, if you decide you don't want it, just make sure you cancel before the first of the month. You're not seeing things. We had a total change of background and camera because my camera battery died. So let's continue with the acquisitions. I did a little shopping on Bluprint when they had a sale, I guess a week and a half or so ago. I bought 2 skeins of Sprightly worsted. This one is called Flame, and this is called Suede. Now, I'll show you what I got them for. Some of you who've been watching the podcast for a while will remember this poncho. It's called the Pladaptation. And it is a knitted poncho. But when I made it, I found that the neck was just a little tight. And with the weight of the poncho, I just felt like it really pulled on my neck. So I actually spliced the pattern and made it a little bit bigger, but it still is not the way I would like it. I would prefer the V to be like about to here, not up here. So I needed extra yarn in order to do that. So these are two of the colors. I have some more of the gray. So the two colors, or it's a 3-color shawl. So you can see, and like I said, I have some of the gray. So now I'll be able to go in here and make this longer the way I would like it to be. So that's going to be a little project. It's actually fixing a previous problem. So I bought these two. And then they had this. It came out to I think it was $2 a skein. Now it is, I use this a lot. It's a Highland Superwash Sock Twist. I bought 2 in the ecru color. I have no idea what I'm going to use them for, but I figured this was neutral enough that if I want to play around and dye it, I can do that. Or if I want to combine it with another project, you know, it's off-white, which means it's going to go with a lot of things. So not sure what I'm using that for yet. And then I bought 3 of this, I think it's called Lavender Heather. Let me see. It's this, yeah, it's called Lavender Heather. And it's almost like it's tonal. I don't know if you can see it. I'm looking at the monitor to see if it shows up. Yeah, it's definite, you know, as you can see, it's a definite lavender. But when you look into it, it has some heathered tones in it too. So it's really pretty. And each of these, let's see, what's the yardage on it? 178 yards or 163 meters. It is fingering weight, fingering to sock weight. And I have some things that are purple, like some skeins that I've bought from independent dyers and things. And what I would do is put this, which is a cheaper yarn, but it is still, it's a Highland, it's Highland wool, 100%. Yeah, 80% superwash, fine Highland wool, and 20% polyamide. So I will put this with one of my more expensive skeins to stretch so I can, you know, get a little more out of it. Because it's expensive to buy independent dyers' yarns. I mean, they earn every penny of it because of the amount of work that goes into it, and the yarn and the dye is not cheap, and then you've got the time involved and the winding it, and, you know. So, you know, what they're asking isn't unreasonable for the amount of work, but there's no way I could afford to make an entire sweater out of it or, you know, like a whole shawl out of it. So by buying one skein and then supplementing the difference with, you know, a little less expensive but still good quality yarn, that's how I kind of do it. So I bought that from Bluprint, and then I can't show it to you yet because it hasn't come in, but you know that shawl in a ball sale that we had, that I announced the other day, I bought 5. I was good. I only bought 5 skeins, but I actually bought, this is that Peaceful Earth that's going to be given away in just a minute. I have another skein of it, and I wanted to have 2. So I decided to order another skein of this, and then I saw some pretty denim color called Soothing Blue, and I got 2 of those. And then I got Feng Shui, which is a gray, black, and a white. And that's one I had already given away at another giveaway, and decided that I would get another skein for myself since I obviously wear a lot of black. I like neutral tones like this because I can throw pretty much anything with it. And if I look a little bedraggled today, it's because I am. We did a last minute shopping spree. We only shop once a month, and we were coming up on that like next week to do our once a month shopping. But there is one case of the you-know-what in our county, and so we decided that before there becomes more than one case of it in our county, we would, I'm being very careful not to say, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, because YouTube is monitoring, watching that people don't give out false information about it or anything like that. But while there's fewer cases in our county and it's a little safer to be out, we figured we would just go ahead and get our groceries. Now, so that we can just hunker down in our house and I can do more crafting because I don't know what else we're going to do. So, yeah. So anyway, we've been running around and I'm filming this late at night. It's like 7:30. It's not late, but I mean it's 7:30 at night and I've got to do all the editing yet, which is a couple hours worth of work, and then it has to upload for a couple hours. So, it's late for me for filming. So I kind of look it too. So anyway, yeah, enough of that. So we are on to the giveaway. So this is the skein of yarn. It is a shawl and a ball. It's called Peaceful Earth. And I love the colors in it. It's got tans and golds and browns. And there's a really pretty green. There's kind of a burgundy. Well, it's not really burgundy, but it's just a kind of goldy brown in there. It's just got some beautiful colors. So anyway, I used Random Comment Picker. And the winner is, and I'm very excited because she has been watching for a very, very long time. The winner is Loretta Underwood of Handmade with Love by Loretta and Blaine. So Loretta, get in contact with me over at my email address, which is KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, and let me know what your address is, and I will get this right out into the mail to you. So congratulations, Loretta. Now, in our Come and Get It section this week, I don't have as much to share because I've been sharing all week long. There might be some sales. If there's any sales that come up through this next week, I will put out more little videos. But March is actually National Craft Month or something, so I think that's why there's been a lot of good sales. Plus, they know that a lot of us are stuck at home, and so what better to do than to sit and occupy our time? It certainly beats watching TV the whole time. I've also been cleaning my house. I've got more to clean, but yeah, I've been organizing drawers and everything else. So let's get started. We have Annie's. Did you know Annie's has a clearance section? I did not notice. I don't know how I've never noticed that, but they have a clearance section. So I went over and looked at it this morning, actually, when I was writing my notes for the video. And over in their clearance section, they have a knitting section and a crochet section, and some of the stuff in there is like 50% off. So there's all kinds of patterns and stuff over there. So yeah, if you go to Annie's, and all of the sales links are right down below, but if you go over to Annie's and it will say I think it's all categories, something like that. It's in blue. Scroll all the way to the bottom. It says clearance, and if you click on there, then you can choose whether you want to look at knitting or crocheting, and there's lots of good stuff over there. So anyway, that is Annie's. Bluprint has a deal of the week, but I don't know what it is yet because the current deal of the week runs out today, which is Friday. The new deal of the week is on Saturday. So I will probably post a short video, or at least let people know on Facebook when I find out what it is. I won't know until Saturday morning. But anyway, they do have a deal of the week each week. Consumer Crafts is offering 15% off of their clearance. Now, the things I saw in their clearance that were yarn related, I didn't think were all that great of a sale, but who knows? There's all kinds of other crafting things. So if you do other kinds of crafts, like a lot of paper crafts, Consumer Crafts has a lot of paper products. If you're into scrapbooking and things like that. You do need to use a coupon code for that. It's SPNG15. So that's for 15% off of their clearance. So it's not good on their regular stuff. It's just on their clearance. Knit Picks is offering 15% off site-wide. You do need to use a coupon code SPRING15 to get that. I'm not sure when that runs out. Leisure Arts is another one that is running several different percentages. You don't have to use any coupon codes. They're offering 25% off of their paperback patterns. You know, if you get like a physical copy of a pattern. They're running 35% off of their digital downloads. If you're into diamond art like I am, they have 25% off of their diamond art. And they have 25% off of their coloring and crafting kits and supplies. My mom is into doing the adult color books. You know, Who doesn't like to color no matter what age you are? Sometimes it's fun to color with my grandchildren just to have an excuse to color. But anyway, they make some that are more adult themed. Not like that kind of bad adult themed, but I mean like, not like little kid drawings for you to color. You know, might be flowers, and I had some that were, I like drawing houses. I like coloring houses. But anyway, yeah. So my mom likes doing the different, they almost look like kaleidoscopes is what she likes doing. I think they call them mandalas. Mandalas? Something like that. But anyway, she likes doing those. Lion Brand, like I said, all week long, they've been hitting it out of the park with sale after sale after sale. They've still got some sales going on at this point. 25% off of their kits. You do need to use a coupon code KIT25. And off of their new yarn brands that they are offering. Not all of their yarns, but just some specific new ones that they're offering are 10% off. And you do need to use a coupon code NEW10 to get that 10% off. Now, We Crochet, which is the same, they're connected to Knit Picks. So that if they're like the crochet side of Knit Picks. They are offering for their yarn of the month, the same as Knit Picks, Bare Yarn. Now, Bare Yarn is this color. It's just undyed yarn that you can dye, or you can just leave it bare. So anyway, it's 20% off. And they are also having a sale in their clearance section on books. And they also have some good like crochet and knitting books in their clearance section. That's We Crochet. So those are the sales for this week that I know of so far. If I run across some other ones, I will let you know. Always the Yarn Enabler. We're going to have 2 different videos this week, I think. Wednesday, I am doing a little segment on vintage coverlets, quilts, and blankets. My mother just recently gave me an old quilt that was my grandmother's when she was a child, and she also gave me a blanket that she remembers when she was a child. And my mom is 80 years old. And so I did a little research on them. And then I also have a coverlet that was woven that my husband's, it's from my husband's side of the family. So I'm going to be talking about those and showing you a quilt that my mother made, probably been 10, 15 years ago, that I always have told her ever since she made it that one day I wanted it. You know, when she passed away, that specifically, it put my name on the back of it because I just really thought it was pretty. And it's been sitting up in a box, and she said, why don't you take it now? So she gave it to me now. So I'm going to show that to you too. So that will be Wednesday's video, and there'll be a little bit of history with what I've been able to find out about these particular items and just the craft in general behind making them. So that will be Wednesday. And then Thursday, I thought since we're all kind of stuck inside, that it might be kind of fun to do a vlog. In other words, I'll just kind of film little clips here and there and put it together of what I'm doing while I'm stuck in the house. So, yeah, so that will be Thursday, just kind of for fun. I've never done, I've done some little vlogs, like when Dave and I have gone grocery shopping together and some of the pretty pictures and stuff. So I thought maybe I would just take you along with me while I stay at home. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But that's going to be Thursday's video. Could be a surprise for all of us. Anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday.